Hey guys, welcome back to my channel, and for this Homeschool Wednesday, I'm going to show you how I plan a unit/novel study. While I was going through some of my old things, I found some books from my childhood that I thought would be excellent for Baby Planner Nerd to read for Black History Month, and to expand it into a sort of American history unit as well. The books I'm referring to are my 3 original American Girl Addy series books, which include Meet Addy, Addy Learns a Lesson, and Addy's Surprise. These books were given to me by my math teacher in the 6th grade, so if you ever see this, Miss Wertheimer, I still have them, and even if they're falling to pieces, I still cherish them, so thank you. Now, Addie Walker is a 9-year-old American girl living in the Civil War era who was born into slavery and escapes the freedom with her mother. Now, the subjects of slavery and the Civil War are heavy ones to this day, mostly because our country is not great at coming to terms with history's wrongdoings. And most people don't even know that this country had slaves well into the 1960s, over 100 years after the Emancipation Proclamation. But as heavy as this subject matter is, this is something I want my child to know about, because even though she's biracial, it is a part of her history. So, to start out planning a unit study, I gather all the things. That includes notes I've made. I look up to see if there's any apps or websites that can be used as a resource. I look through my Kindle Unlimited account for books that can, be added to our list. I hunt through YouTube and Netflix for related videos, books I have on hand, activity kits that I have on hand, and I also create a library checkout list, and I also consult Teachers Pay Teachers for any online resources there. And I also go through Pinterest to see if there's any activities or other resources that can be used. Now, after I gather all the things, the first thing I figure out is the length of the study, because the first book, Meet Addy, is super heavy in subject, and the history behind it is super heavy, and she's only 10. I don't want it to be extremely long or worksheet heavy. So I figured 4 weeks was long enough to cover the life experiences of a young black girl in the Civil War era. Once I figure out the length, I go through the Addy books by chapter and note the focus points of each chapter and see if there is anything I can expand upon. Usually in a unit study, you have a single book called a spine. A spine is a book that everything in a unit study is based off of. And you can have, multiple books, but that one book is like the main book of the unit study. For this unit study, I actually have 3 spines because we're reading all 3 books. So I figured 1 book per week was sufficient, and each book is only 5 chapters, so it's completely doable. After finding all the focus points for each chapter, I start planning out the weeks. For week 1, I wanted us to focus on learning about, for lack of a better phrase, the slave experience. This includes learning about the slave trade, their living conditions, their family dynamics, how slavery affected genders differently, their religion, how the government, their legal rights, and war affect them. Also, their education, their contributions to art, and their culture. We're not diving super deep into these subjects. I'm just building a lesson plan where we get little snippets here and there throughout the entire week, and each day we focus on one sort of historical overview. So for day 1, we're going to focus on the slave trade. Day 2, we're going to focus on living conditions. Day 3, family and gender roles, and so on and so forth. Each day, she'll have a small amount of reading to do in the back of the Addy book. Each of these books have a peek into the past section that gives the reader a snippet of what was happening or what happened before, the period in which the book was written. And in this peek into the past section, there are short passages that cover each of the different points we're focusing on each day of the week. After she reads the passages, we'll talk about it for a bit. Then she can watch a video on the subject, and we'll talk about that some more. I'll note some new vocabulary we learned that day and what they mean, and she'll follow a journal prompt and write about the things she's learned and her thoughts about why she thinks some certain things happened and any points that may have confused her or how it makes her feel. It's very informal, which I want to keep it that way because, again, the subject matter is heavy. When we get through this week and I can gauge her response, then I can determine whether or not I can add something or if I need to take something away. As I lay out these plans, you'll see me pull out some Post-its to note different things, including possible craft ideas, documentaries I have to find, and my ever-growing library checkout list. As you start putting a unit study together, you'll begin to notice that subjects tend to overlap over different resources. I just want to note that it's okay not to go over the same thing in every different resource. Pick the single most comprehensive one. It's not like you'll never come back to whatever subject your unit is covering, whether it be bugs, the solar system, the human body, but especially history. Just take your time. And here are what my unit study plans look like so far. I haven't done the focus points for books 2 and 3, nor plan for the other weeks here in this video for the sake of the length of this video. But this is what the skeleton of my unit plans look like until I make it to the library to check out all the books and print all the resources. I hope you guys like this video. Please give it a thumbs up. Thumbs up. It's right there. Click, click. Yeah. Also, if you haven't already, please click that red subscribe button down below and the little bell ringer next to it so you can be notified when I post my next video. Until next time, bye!